Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon sextile or trine Venus in Synastry. Now, first off, the unconscious side and the inner personality, which is the moon person, can be in harmony with what the Venus person loves and enjoys. This could be a good, it's obviously an auspicious aspect for synastry because it's a sextile or trine, but you're talking about, the moon, which is about feelings. The Venus is connected with sentiments. This could be a good, aspect for as far as a relationship, like with a significant other. Um, because you'd have both people, not having much difficulty in articulating, conveying their feelings toward each other. Now, again, both people may easily and mutually express their sentiments and feelings to one another. The moon person um, could really care about the Venus person's self-worth. And let's say the Venus person has their natal Venus in Sagittarius. Well, that could be, doing things with the outdoors and sports and expanding horizons. Those are things which, could be, good for that, Venus person's self-worth. And the moon person may instinctively understand what is beneficial to the Venus person in terms of just their self-worth, their self-esteem, and how he or she feels about oneself. Now, the Venus person may value the Moon person's their basically their unconscious side, the inner personality. If the Moon person has their Moon in Gemini, say, that inner personality, could be one, that's versatile, diversified, dexterous, quick-witted, very loquacious though, and being able to, somebody that's adaptable, as some examples. And this is also if the moon person, needs money or some kind of, assistance with possessions, the Venus person may, often and readily oblige in those matters. The thing is, you have the moon, the moon person, as far as, just in general, is the, could have, if they're in need, to do the things that, the Venus person has, strongly enjoys. The Venus person can readily, you could say, be there, to use the talents that he or she has to help the moon person. Whether it could be in some home-related venture. Let's say that the Venus person has their Venus in Gemini. It could be using some kind of ability that with manual dexterity, such as helping with auto. It could be refrigeration mechanics, as some examples, or doing something in the home that requires the ability to use the hands. And another thing too, about the synastry aspect, which of course is a positive and auspicious, is that the moon person, may often respond favorably to really, if there's anything that's connected, the social gathering that the Venus person has. If the Venus person were to invite the moon individual to some kind of social gathering, a place where, something where they're having a number of people congregate, or some kind of party, this is where, the moon person would generally, can also be amenable to this. And another thing too about this aspect, that this could be auspicious for the two of these people collaborating on, some kind of, could be, an artistic, project, It could be really, I mean, if you have, let's say, the Venus person has their Venus in Pisces, it could be, something with abstract art or, fantasy, type of drawings or paintings, or it could also be, some kind of, this could also be a good synastry aspect, for making money, doing something connected with the public, because the moon has a connection with the public. Venus is about, making money. If the, let's say, the moon person, say we have Aquarius involved in this synastry aspect, then, it could be doing something, computers, electronics, astrology, astronomy, that may be connected with the public, that, and it could be a very, beneficial aspect for that. And the thing too is this could also, the moon person may, if this is a situation, especially if these two people are living together, if it's a family connection or a significant other, marriage partner scenario, that moon person may easily make that food for the Venus person that he or she likes to indulge in. The zodiac sign Cancer is involved. It could be, very, nostalgic type food that mom would make, so to speak. Anyway, as I stated in my earlier videos on the natal chart placements, that never, isolate, any single, astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on that alone, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. And the same applies to synastry aspects. And the thing is, one synastry aspect is certainly not going to make or break a connection or relationship, and the moon sextile or trine Venus is certainly, is no exception to that. Most synastry charts are going to have a plethora of aspects between person A and person B, and even though this is a good, it's a positive aspect by itself. The moon sextile trine Venus could be one that could be very positive, for people, that are close to each other and expressing, those sentiments and feelings toward one another. But, you can have, some, synastry aspects that may offset that, an adverse aspect in synastry. Let's say, you have, the moon sextile or trine Venus in synastry, but let's say that, you have the moon, let's say the moon person has their moon square or opposite the Venus person's ascendant. That moon person may have difficulty in expressing their feelings, a little more difficulty in expressing those feelings to the ascendant person, and especially about how, what they believe about, what the ascendant person is projecting outwardly, those qualities the ascendant person is naturally expressing. And the thing about where, let's say, the moon person has their moon square or opposite the Venus person's sun, well, that could that could indicate to where you would have the moon person would have, the difficulty in expressing maybe their their feelings about the Venus person's true self, which is the sun. The sun is the basic fundamental character, but also the true self of the individual. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.